Hi, welcome to the Morton Matchday programme. In a packed show today, we'll be getting the thoughts of Dougie Imrie ahead of the Raith Rovers match on Saturday. We'll be talking to a rising star of the women's team. There's a brand new sponsorship deal to be spoken about. We'll also have interviews with Cammy Blues and new signing Aaron Comrie. And if that wasn't enough for you, we'll have some goals against Rovers from the past. First up though, it's the gaffer.
Gaffer, starting on a bit of a different note this week, we saw the arrival of Aaron Comrie earlier in the week. Just first of all, can you just tell us a bit about where the interest started with that one and what the fans can expect to see from Aaron?
No, listen, I think first and foremost, Aaron's a terrific signing for us. He gives us real competition in that right hand side. But yeah, listen, Aaron's a player that I've admired for a number of years. He's had a good championship career. He's had a good career at Dunfermline. He's been there a number of years. Moved on to Hamilton in the summer, and obviously we know the difficulties that Hamilton have had, and I kept my eye on it, and I'm delighted to have him. Like I say, he'll give us good competition in the right back area, and that's what we've been looking for. We need competition over the pitch to keep players on their toes. And we've certainly got that now. And then listen, the fans will love Aaron. He's a competitive player. He's very good on the ball, gets up the pitch, and is a very good one-on-one defender. So listen, he's a good player to have in the building for us.
And how important is it as well to add a player with so much experience like him to a already good mix of players here? Yeah,
like I say, he's played over 250 games in the Championship, so he's got very good experience at this level. But he's a terrific lad. He's a top professional, looks after himself well, and like I say, I'm delighted to have that character in the building to, like I say, add to the back line that we have at the moment.
And staying on the side of the squad, we obviously saw Tommy come back in last Saturday, Ian Wilson returning to the starting 11 as well. Where are we in terms of squad availability for tomorrow, and the boys that are currently out at the moment, how far away are they?
Yeah, it's good to have Tommy back. He missed a couple of weeks with injury. The unfortunate thing for Tom is Amy's took his opportunity. He's got 3 goals in 2 games. So again, that's the competition that we look for. Again, I thought Ian Wilson on Saturday was excellent. Back to the Ian Wilson we know. But he had a little illness that's caused him a bit of an issue the last few weeks. So it was great to see him back to the levels that I expect from Shug. Apart from that, yeah, the Keane Taylor has got an MCL injury at the moment, which hopefully is not too far away. That's a 46-week injury, so he's been out for 2 to 3 weeks. So hopefully we see Keane back soon on the pitch. Ali's picked up an Achilles issue, which is hopefully getting dealt with on Saturday, tomorrow, and we should hopefully see Ali back within the next 2 weeks. Gills is back in the squad. Michael Harron came off on Saturday with a back issue. Whether he makes it tomorrow, we'll wait and see. We'll give him every opportunity. And apart from that's where we are in terms of injuries. But apart from that, the squad's really, really strong and healthy, Gareth.
And having come off of a good point on the road last week, unlucky to maybe not come away with more, what's the message been to the boys this week?
No, listen, I think the start to the season's been very positive. We're 4 games unbeaten. We should have picked up all 3 points at Partick Thistle, albeit for a really poor decision that went against us. And I think the point in Saturday away at St Johnstone, in hindsight, is an excellent point. A team that's really flying at the top end of the table, getting a lot of plaudits. I think the general consensus was that St Johnstone had to turn up on Saturday and Morton would roll over. But listen, that ain't going to be the case. Every game in this championship this season for any team is going to be a battle. And I was really proud of my players. I said that after the game on Saturday. They were excellent from start to finish. And one bad pass cost us 3 points. Yeah, St Johnstone had a lot of the ball, but they didn't really penetrate us. They didn't really hurt us when they had the ball, and when they did, I thought Jimmy in the back 4 dealt with it really, really well. So again, a very, very accomplished performance against a very, very good team. So the message has been very clear, Gareth. More of the same. Take confidence from it. and can we go out on Saturday and put in another good performance against Raith Rovers tomorrow?
Yeah, looking at tomorrow's game now, what is it you're expecting from tomorrow's match?
Yeah, it'll be a tough game. I think Barry and Raith Rovers have had a very good start to the season. They're a very competitive team. You know, they've got good players that can hurt you, as is most teams in the Championship. But like I say, they play with a back five and then try and push their wing backs on to make it really tight in the middle of the pitch. They've brought in Paul McMillan, who I admire as a player. You know, he's a player that I've tried to get in the past. You know, his work rate is excellent. Never gives you back for a minute. Add into Dylan Easton, you know, probably one of the best technical players in the division, so we'll have to be wary of that. On his day, he's a handful, you know, he can cut you open at any minute. So again, top end of the pitch, they've got good players, and then they've got experienced diggers in behind that, but also very good football players. So yeah, listen, we know it's going to be a difficult game. They'll be hurting from last week, losing their unbeaten run. It stretched a period of time. So yeah, we have to give them the respect that they're due. But us being at home, you know, we want to take the game to Raith Rovers tomorrow.
And of course, last season against Raith Rovers, we had a fairly positive record against them in the league. I suppose you'll be hoping to try and replicate much of that this season, starting tomorrow. Yeah,
of course. Listen, we've got a good record against them. They'll know that. You know, they're always difficult games, whether it's here or at Starts Park. So we know what to expect tomorrow. But yeah, we want to get the season off with a win, and hopefully we can do that tomorrow. And I've reiterated that to the group today. You know, if we can win the game tomorrow, we go second in the table, which I think is a very good start. 7 points if we can get that win. But listen, like I say, every game is very difficult. You just don't get given 3 points. You have to work hard to pick up points in this division. And I think we've had a very good start.
You mentioned there potentially a win tomorrow, going up to 7 points. The league's already shown at this stage just how tight it's shaping up to be, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and that's always the same in the Championship, Gareth. The teams are very evenly matched. I keep saying the same thing. Every team can beat anybody on any given day. You know, there's still teams to start in this division. And what I mean by that is there's teams struggling at the moment. Teams will pick up form. But I'm really pleased with the group. You know, we've started the season on the back foot with the disappointment on over the summer, which put me on the back foot. I lost players that I wanted to sign. I've had to take my time and build a squad. You know, I had to build a new staff as well, which we've had to integrate and get to grips with quickly. So I think, all in all, I am very pleased with the start, considering the circumstances that we dealt with early part of the new season. So we will take time to gel, but I think the fruits have shown so far this season what hopefully will come. And I'm really proud of the group so far and what they've given me.
The always enlightening thoughts there of the manager, Dougie Imrie. As I mentioned right at the top of the show, we'll shortly be hearing about a brand new commercial partnership for the club. But before that, the goals of young Ava Riddicks have been catching the eye with the Morton's women's team so far this season. So, Gareth caught up with her for a chat.
Ava, first of all, you joined the club this summer. How have you found your time with the team so far?
I feel as if it's been a very good experience so far. The coaches and the team have been very welcoming, and it's good to get stuck in.
This is, of course, your first season at senior level in women's football as well. You know, how have you found the transition into this level?
It's been good. It's been a big step up in intensity and physicality especially, and it's just a big difference. Yeah.
And how pleased have you been with the start of the season for yourself personally?
I think personally it's been good. It has been tough with some of the results, but I feel as if we keep going we might be able to push through. Yeah.
And 7 goals so far, top of the scorers chart. Could you have imagined that sort of start?
Never, ever. I think if you asked me a couple of months ago, I probably would have said never. But yeah.
And 6 of those coming in just the one game as well. You know, can you talk us through that one?
Yeah, I think the team really clicked during that game. Like just the positions where everyone was, I was getting good service from my teammates. So yeah, I think everyone just clicked that day.
And we've spoken about your transition into the team as well, but how much of the squad helped you really integrate?
They really pushed me through because there is some more experienced players and some younger players who I know personally, and they've helped me through like everything, just even normal questions what I would need to ask, they've helped me through.
And I know we touched on it briefly as well, just about the start of the season for the team, but just looking into it in a bit more detail, how would you sort of reflect on the matches so far?
I think they have been tough, as I said before. I think Gary kind of said like we should be doing better, which we all know we should, and that's what we're going to be pushing through to get to.
Yeah, you speak about what Gary says as well. What's the message been from him for the season as a whole, I suppose?
He's always said, like, since I joined, what his aim was to get to the top 6 by the end of the season, which I really think we could if we push right through. He always wants us just to trust the process and build on what we've got, which I think will work.
And with such a big start for you personally, you'll be hoping to try and keep that up for the rest of the season, I take it?
Yeah, definitely. My aim was always just to stay fit, as I have had a couple of injuries prior to this, and I feel as if it's went well already, so I'm hoping to just push right through and get to the end. And
it's a free weekend this weekend, but coming up next against Inverness, you'll be playing here at Capo. You must be looking forward to that one. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm also excited to see the atmosphere towards it as well, because I've heard it's meant to be really good, so hoping we get a win.
In the mid-19th century, Alexander Denniston founded the Argown Distillery in the heart of Greenock, a town thriving on its maritime connections. From Lindock Street, Argown produced exceptional malt whiskies, crafted with local and imported ingredients that arrived through Greenock's bustling ports. But in 1907, the distillery story paused, leaving its legacy waiting for a new chapter. Over a century later, the Argown Distillery Company began a new era, building a state-of-the-art distillery in Inverkip, near Greenock. This year marks a revival, not just for Argown, but for the community itself. 2024 also celebrates the 150th anniversary of Greenock Morton Football Club, a cornerstone of Inverclyde's identity and founded just a stone's throw from the original distillery. To honour this shared heritage, we've crafted something special under the guidance of Master Blender Max McFarlane. Argown Distillery introduces a malt whisky that pays tribute to the past while toasting the future, celebrating the rich history of both Greenock Morton and our town. Argown Distillery and Greenock Morton, rooted in history, crafted for tomorrow.
So, I'm joined now by Commercial Executive for Morton Football Club. It's a big title. Everybody knows Mark Kelly. Mark, thanks for joining me today.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
We've got some good news here. New sponsorship deal?
Yes, I've got a new sponsorship for the Youth Academy, which is coming on board, so it's very good news for the club.
And who is it?
It's going to be Costa Drive-Thru in Greenock. They've just opened a new drive-thru branch. So they're obviously just looking to give back to the community. It has been a community club, so it's going to work out well, fingers crossed.
And how did this come about?
Funnily, there was a couple of the Morton players were at their branch, and I'd seen they had took a wee picture of them, put it on their socials. So me being me, I thought, no, you're not getting a freebie out of Greenock Morton. So just kind of reached out to them. We've had a couple of chats, and it basically just progressed through there.
Yeah, I mean, does that mean any Morton players like going to an establishment now are going to drag somebody out for hospitality?
If I see him do a picture of a Morton player, then be rest assured I'll be contacting them. So,
without getting into too many specifics, what does the deal actually involve?
Well, first of all, the new branch, the Greenock Drive-Thru, it's obviously managed to retain some jobs within the community, so their hopes are to make it a busy branch. And obviously, with us being a community-owned club now, it's good for them to help us, and we're going to be supporting them in any way we can, try to drive footfall through to their branch. There'll be wee competitions through the year. I don't want to get too much away because we will be doing a big launch on it between ourselves and Costa Greenock, but it's going to be beneficial to both parties. There's
a wider question here though, isn't there? I mean, we've already got a whole load of partners in sponsorship at the club. How important is commercial sponsorship for a club like Morton? It's massive. Obviously we don't have one owner pumping lots of money into it. We've got many sponsors, with big thanks to Janine at Clyde Eats, who help support the Morton's women's team, which has grown year on year. We've got other sponsors like Bathroom Elegance, who support us by sponsoring the Cowshed. There's too many to mention, but one word that I would say that we've got with all our sponsors is we've got good cadamadery, which certainly helps. Dougie's going to love you for that one, isn't he? Definitely love us for that one. But that's what it's all about. I mean,
yes, we're a business, but we try to have a bit of fun with it, and we also like to try and give back to our sponsors so that they can see a return on their investment of the football club. And in the kind of 3 years I've been here, we've been growing that, got really good relationships, and I would personally just like to thank everybody that supports the club. And if there's any local businesses that are ever interested in supporting in any way, then my door's always open. They can feel free to contact.
That's what I was going to ask you. I mean, if somebody wants to get involved, how would they go about it?
Best bet would be just to reach out to me via email or phone. Gareth puts my email address out there quite a lot, so it's not hard to find. And that could be for anything from something very small to something large. We would like to get as many local companies involved within the club as we possibly can.
Because we are, of course, a community club.
Yes, we are, 100%. And I think that's something that we need to get better at, I suppose, in going out to the community and helping out businesses, charities, schools. And it's fun. I enjoy the job. From when you start speaking to someone about potential sponsorship, you do get a wee buzz when you get it over the line, and then if you can see Morton Football Club helping these local businesses as well, it's just a good feeling you get.
It is brilliant news for the club, Mark. Thanks for coming and speaking to us about it today, and of course let's hope we get more and more companies involved in what's happening here at Morton Football Club.
Thanks, Jerry.
Great commercial news there from Mark Kelly, and remember, if you want to get involved with the club, just get in touch with Mark. We're always happy to accept your business. Now, in case you missed it, we're going to have an interview with the recent signing Aaron Comrie, but just before that, here's the thoughts of Cammy Blues.
Boysy, starting off, how are yourself and the squad feeling ahead of tomorrow's game?
Feeling good, aye. We've had a tough training week, so ready to go tomorrow, hopefully get 3 points at home. And
it's Raith Rovers tomorrow. Over the recent seasons, it's been tight encounters against them. Are you expecting much of the same tomorrow?
Probably, aye. Really good side. They've had a good start to the season, play with a lot of energy and aggression, so we know what to expect from Raith. They'll be a good side, and hopefully we can get a win tomorrow at home.
And it was a draw last week at McDermott Park. Unlucky to potentially not come away with all three. How would you reflect on that match?
Tough game as well, aye. Thought St Johnstone were good on the day. Thought we played quite well as well. Defended well, carried out the game plan quite well. So unfortunate maybe not to get the 3 points, but over the kind of course of the game, I think St Johnstone probably deserved a goal.
And I suppose as well, with the way the season started as well, that the boys must take a lot of confidence from the fact that, of course, we're the first team to take points off them this season in the league.
Exactly, aye. They look like they're going to be a good side, so we've got to take confidence from that. As I said, I thought we played really well in the game, so hopefully we can bring that confidence back to Cappielow tomorrow and try and get 3 points.
And looking at our games at Cappielow this season, I think if you remove the Aberdeen game, it's an unbeaten start at home. How much or how important would a win tomorrow be to really help build confidence for the rest of the season?
It would be. I think it would be a good start for us if we can get a win tomorrow. I think that would get us up to 7 points from 5 games. So we know how tight the league's going to be. So if we can try and get positive results at home, it'll stand us in good stead. And
of course, you mentioned there in terms of 7 points, it would certainly put us in a good position in the league as well with only 2 games on tomorrow.
Exactly, aye. That's it. It's quite early to be checking the league table, but we want to try and stay with the pack, get in the mix, and hopefully stay there.
And with a game like tomorrow as well, how important is it to really get out of the blocks quick and start the game fast?
It will be, aye. Imagine Raith will start the game well, so we need to be at it early doors and hopefully take the game to Raith Rovers.
And in preparation for this one as well, have you been looking too much into what sort of difference you're expecting from Raith Rovers, or do you feel that the night set up much the same as the last time we faced them last season?
Probably the same, but we know they're quite adaptable as well. I think they changed to a back four during the game last week against Partick Thistle and got a bit of success for that. So we know that they'll be a good side. Obviously they got a bit of success from playing 5-3-2 or kind of 3-4-3 last year, so we'll need to be aware of whatever they bring tomorrow and hopefully counter that.
And last time out at home against Raith Rovers as well, it was a tough result to take in the end, but for you personally, getting on the score sheet, I suppose from a personal point of view, you'll be hoping for much of the same impact tomorrow?
Aye, hopefully. Not scored in the league yet, so hopefully get off the mark tomorrow and hopefully the boys can have another good season.
Aaron, first of all, welcome to the club. You signed yesterday on deadline day, now officially a Morton player. How does it feel to be here?
Happy to be here. I think it'll be a good move for me. Obviously Morton, a club sort of pushing in the right direction, and hopefully it'll be a successful season.
What were the first conversations with the gaffer like, and what was it that really sold the club to you?
Really positive. I think the way he sold the club was really good. As I said, sort of looking to do things right, and that's sort of exciting as a player. Coming into an environment like that, I think he said that sort of everything will get done right. So there's no excuses on a Saturday, pretty much, which is good and all you can ask for as a player.
And you're of course coming in with a lot of experience in this league, adding more competition to the squad as well. How much do you hope that experience can help benefit the squad for the rest of the season?
I think there's a few players in the same bracket, but I think championship experience is crucial, to be honest, in squads, because I think it's a competitive league. I think teams in the past that have done well have had sort of that mix of young boys and older experienced boys to have a successful season. So yeah, I think it could only be a beneficial thing for the squad.
And over the years, especially in your time in Dunfermline, you've come up against Morton on several occasions as well. How have you found it playing a Morton side, and especially a side that's been set up by Dougie?
It's always been tough, always been competitive games, especially coming here at Caplo. You always sort of need to try and win the battle first. But the thing I've noticed under the managers' teams, that I think there's been a lot more football played. I think sort of looking at the squad, there's a lot of creative players and exciting players. So I think you've sort of slowly seen that evolve over the last couple of years, and I think that's something that will suit me as well. So. Yeah.
And it was your first day of training today as well. How did you find the session, and how did you find it integrating in with the boys?
Standard was really good. Again, competitive. It was a tough day today, but obviously first day, just and try to find my feet, try and set sort of a good impression. But yeah, sort of, I'm not surprised because I know it's a good squad, but yeah, standard was good. I enjoyed that.
And when it comes to the dressing room as well, are there boys in there that you know from previous sides that'll help you integrate in?
Yeah, but I know a few of the boys, mostly sort of from my time at Dunfermline, obviously. Boys have came in on loan and signed permanently. So I think there's 4 or 5 that I know, which obviously makes it easier integrating.
And it's Raith Rovers coming up this Saturday as well. How excited are you to not only have a chance of possibly having your first minutes in a Morton shirt, but to get them at home as well?
Yeah, first and foremost it'll be a tough game, but I'm looking forward to it. It's been a while since I've played competitive football, so I'm hoping sort of I get minutes on Saturday, but yeah, looking forward to it.
And for the rest of the season as well, what are some of your hopes and ambitions for the squad?
Well, as I've said, I think the squad's really strong, and I think it's a squad capable of going and pushing for the playoffs. So hopefully it'll be a successful season. I think the boys have started really well. I think there's sort of just need to turn those draws into wins, and I think we'll be absolutely fine.
Thanks to everybody who contributed to the show this week, and of course, as always, to you for tuning in. We go out today with some classic goals against the Rovers from the past. Dougie and the boys will be hoping for just this at the weekend.